Hi, I'm Max.
Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles. And this is my time of the year because it's getting warm and warmer, and I'm loving the transition.
And in a few weeks, spring will have sprung.
And I cannot wait.
Me either.
We've got a great show today, and one of the pieces we did was a segment that you did with MSD.
Yes. Pay attention to this segment because for those who have experienced this issue or it may happen to you, you want to know what it's about and what to do.
And you've also been very busy, and you got an opportunity to catch up with one of your longtime neighborhood friends.
Yes, Mr. Andre Chemo Stone Guest, who is the CEO, president of Fund for the Arts.
Right. So again, we've got a great show. We're going to also be talking about getting out on your bikes because again, it's that time of the year. And if you haven't found a bike or if you need to get your bike repaired, now's the time, and we've got some great information for you. We also caught up with the people at Magic 101.3, some of their amazing staff. Got an opportunity to talk to Tia, who's new. So we'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
At LG&E and KU, we're always working hard to make your life a little easier. Because we know you've got your hands full. Our new mobile app gives you the power to check your account balance, review your payment history, and effortlessly pay your bill from anywhere, while making it easier than ever to report and track power outages. Download the app today to get the convenience of LG&E and KU at your fingertips.
So first up is a segment that you did with MSD, so tell us about that.
This is a segment that I find important, and listen up because you may have experienced or know someone or it could happen to you. We experienced it. It's dealing with what they call backflow prevention, and what that simply means is if you've ever experienced rain-related sewer backup, and it may have come through your basement plumbing facilities, sinks, tubs, toilets, then you want to have MSD to come out because they have a device that could help it. So let's just take a look. So today's segment is very vital, and I find it very interesting because we're going to be talking about plumbing modification systems with MSD. And basically, we're going to reach the area where if you have experienced backup in your basement and sewage backup is coming through your basement plumbing, well, we're going to talk about that. I want to introduce you to Horace Gaither. Welcome. And basically, I want to know specific-wise, what is this problem exactly, and what do you do about it?
Well, this is one of the devices that we add to prevent some of the basement backups. So we have a couple different devices that we use. One is this. This is a backflow preventer. We also use a set of wash valves, or we can add a sump pump to the basement to people that have been impacted with the backflow, sewer backflows.
And basically, we see this problem kind of manifest, if you will, primarily when we have hard, saturated rains. Is that right?
Exactly. Heavy rains also produce like an overload in our sewers. So our sewers reach capacity, and once our sewers reach capacity, they have trouble taking on more water. So the sewers tend to back up, and that's when we install these preventers.
So, as you said, a preventer because of the sewage plumbing modification. So exactly, can you explain and walk through why it's necessary and to alleviate the problem?
Yes. This is a system that will be in your basement, and this comes from like your main sewage, your water sewage going out.
Okay.
And it's a flapper valve in here. It's a one-way valve, and it'll allow water to go out, pass through. It'll open up, and then it'll close so water can't back up during the heavy rains and trying to back up.
Okay.
If this was to fail, then there's a valve here. That's a backup valve. This is a ball valve. We would engage this ball valve, and that will cut off all the water going out on coming in.
Okay. When we speak of areas, are we saying it's just basically, I don't know if you call it the infrastructure, when you said lower areas, would you say that maybe city residential areas versus maybe some of the suburban, would these areas all be affected or not?
Well, yeah, some neighborhoods are more prone than others. Since Louisville has grown so much, we have so many more houses that's connected to the sewer system, so that negatively impacts, the system. So,
share with me, Horace, let's say somebody's looking and they want to know, how do I know if this is the problem that I have? What would they see? Because mine was bathtub, but what are some of the, I'm gonna call them symptoms that residents would see?
You will get sewage in your basement. So what happens is at your lowest level, and these only go in basements. We don't install them in first floor homes or slab homes. They go in the basements. And if you have a sewage come up through a floor drain or through your toilet or a bathtub or a shower in the basement, then you know you're in the event of a backup.
Okay. So oftentimes we would see this when we have a big influx of rain.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly. And this is a wet weather situation when we have these backups.
Okay. And then another question that's in my mind. So what about people who they say, well, I have a sump pump and I won't have that problem. What do you do in that case?
Well, oftentimes a sump pump is connected to the sewer system. But if you don't have a basement, if you don't have a bathroom in your basement, we can take a sump pump and we can add a sump pump, take the floor drain off the sewer system and run the floor drain to the sump pump, which eliminates sewage coming back up through the floor drain.
Okay. So let's say somebody might be asking, how do I know if they meet the criteria to have one of these? What would be, I guess, documented? How would they be able to tell before they contact MSD?
That's why it's important every time you have a backup to call in and just report it, let MSD know that you're having a backup, and customer service will give you a series of questions. I ask you a series of questions, and then they'll inform you about this program.
Now, one of my neighbors, when I said I had an incident, they were nervous because they were like, if you're having it, but I'm not, should they be concerned?
Oftentimes, if you're in an area, multiple homes could be impacted by the backup, so it is something to be concerned with. I can be concerned with. And all this is sub-concrete. This will be underground, so you won't see this. You can take this and put this in the closet somewhere.
Okay. So who does the installation? Is it MSD or do you all contract out? How's that work?
Yeah, once you get a qualified approved, you get two estimates, and you submit those estimates to us. If MSD deem you qualified to get it, then you can pick a plumber of your choice, as long as they're a licensed plumber.
So Denise, that's great information, and that's one thing that we always find out when talking with MSD. They help us to be more and more prepared and to avoid problems or things that we know are going to go wrong.
Yeah, this is something you think is isolated when it only happens to you, but just to make sure I get this correct, so this backflow prevention device has really helped more than 17,000 customers here in our area with their basements from these sewer backups. And the thing about it, you have to remember, if it's approved and with MSD, we'll pay a licensed plumbing contractor to install this overflow prevention device. So that's a good deal.
That is a great deal. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Cycling is more than just getting from one place to another. It's healthy, social, good for the environment, and anyone can do it. We at Middletown love cycling and really love helping others discover a new passion. Stop in today and let our friendly, knowledgeable staff help you get started. We cater to beginners as well as experienced cyclists. We're a local business that cares about our community because we are a part of the community. Come in today and get on a bicycle that fits your needs and improve your lifestyle.
One station for R&B. Magic 101.3.
Me that green light. With your permission.
We're live, local, and Louisville. Magic 101.3, the home of Steve Harvey and Morning Show.
So Denise, I know that we always say that you can't go home, but you proved that you could, and when you do, you find a lot of old neighbors.
Yes, this next young man I grew up with, but he was younger than me, but I'm so proud to see all the accomplishments and strides that he has made, and that's going to be Mr. Andre Chemo Stone, guest, and let's just take a look. So it's a fabulous Sunday afternoon, and I am filled with delight because I have the pleasure to introduce to some of you already know him, Mr. Andre Chemo Stone, guest. And Andre, welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You just heard me chuckle because I know your mom was from Hawaii. Yes. I can still remember your sister's middle name, Kehalani.
That's right.
See, I got a deep memory. But we were kind of close around the same age. You were much younger. But anyway, and both of us were across the street neighbors in Smoketown. So I'm very, very proud of you. But basically, I know you're here now and you're doing a fabulous job of being the president and CEO of the Fund for the Arts here in Louisville. But just take us through a brief history, if you will, your track record of what got you here.
Well, I mean, it all started on Jackson Street in Smoketown. So your family, the Golstons, 923 South Jackson, the Guesses, 926 South Jackson. I mean, my family goes back, I guess my grandmother, I guess she might have moved to Smoketown in the 15s. And the house I grew up in was the same house my dad grew up in. So a lot of deep roots in Smoketown. So I attribute any success I have to those roots. And I just remember going to Booker T. Washington. And really one of the things, Miss Dixon, my teacher at Booker T. Washington, I remember she telling me in the first grade that I was the smartest kid she ever taught, and that I could do anything I wanted. She probably was lying to me, but I believed it. And that planted a seed in me, along with all that was poured into me with my family, to believe that I could really do anything. So I went to work for Dr. Sam Robinson at the Lincoln Foundation. And it was there that I actually produced my first concert with Wynton Marsalis, because my son's name is Wynton Kelly Stonegas. He's named after the pianist that Wynton is named after. And I met Wynton in Louisville, I guess in October of '93. My son was born in June. And he was here with Garth Fagan in Griot, New York, that dance project. So I met him, asked him if he was named after Wynton Kelly, and he's like, who's this young brother, knowing who Wynton Kelly is, right? And I said, well, my son's name was Wynton Kelly. So after the show, we ended up hanging out at the Seelbach, and we were having dinner, sitting around at dinner, and we got into an argument. He said something I didn't agree with, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, should I say something or not? So I said something, and then we got into an argument, and we became fast friends. And it wasn't long after that I boldly asked him if he'd come and do a fundraiser for the Lincoln Foundation. And he did. I mean, it took 18 months to get on his calendar, but he graciously came and did a fundraiser for us. So I started the Evening of Jazz and it's still going on to this day at the Lincoln Foundation. So that started in '96, I believe. Yeah. And so from there, Wynton and I became fast friends, and he actually recruited me to come to New York to work with them as they were building what is now their new home in Columbus Circle.
See, I didn't know that, because I just, from afar being back, it's like, oh, Andre, he's with Wynton Marsalis and he's doing big things and woo woo wah. And a lot of people are like, well, how did he happen to, I guess, go through that door for that? So and I just heard Andre Guest and the Lincoln Center. So then your path goes on to do what?
I mean, being in New York is like dog years. That was like 49 years. It was a lot of work. Got burnt out a little bit, so I ended up leaving and starting my own company, Guestworks, which I was doing consulting for arts organizations around the world, and also my wife and I started managing the career of jazz musicians. So over a period of time, we managed Christian McBride, Nicholas Payton, Mark Whitfield, Todd Williams. My wife now works with the Baylor Project.
Then what catapulted you here for the Fund for the Arts, and what's a vision of yours while you were in this position? Well,
I had a 2-year contract with the August Wilson Center, and ended up decided not to renew my contract. So in 2012, my wife Cheryl and I were trying to figure out where we were going to go. We weren't going to go back to New York, and we weren't going to stay in Pittsburgh. So I looked at her and I said, well, where are we going? She said, are you crazy? We're going home. I said, well, I don't want to go home. She said, well, I didn't want to go to New York, so we're even. And so we moved back here, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't want to come home. I mean, I got in the big head, thought that Louisville couldn't contain me, so I didn't want to be here. But what made it palatable for me from 2012 to 2020 actually was the fact that I was traveling about 150 days a year. So I was never here. As a matter of fact, people thought that Cheryl had left me and come back because they never saw me.
So I know you're a great visionary, so very quickly, where do you want to take the Fund for the Arts, and what does it mean for the community? What are some of your visions for this community, Louisville?
Well, we want to create a sense of belonging in the community, and there's a couple of things where you can create a community-wide sense of belonging. Sports is one of them, where you can get a whole community behind one thing, but arts are another thing, because one thing you cannot do is to plant a white supremacist flag in the soil of the arts. It just won't stand. but you can try to hang one off the side of a building or an institution. So one of the things we want to make sure that we make everyone understand in the city is that we all create and consume art every day. If you get up in the morning, you sing in the shower, you do a little dance on your way to the refrigerator, you recite a little poetry, you bust a rhyme or something, you're creating art. Every person on the planet creates art every day, and everyone consumes art every day. Well, we want everyone in the city to self-identify as an artist and say what their art is. And we make that easy by widening the aperture of the lens through which we all see the art. So if it's gardening or design or needlepoint or pottery or photography, whatever it is, because art is one of the most fundamental aspects of the human condition, an expression of the human condition.
Well, he's made some amazing accomplishments throughout his professional career, and it's great to see him back here in Louisville doing what he does.
And the thing about it, and I would say the wind beneath his wings, that's his wife Cheryl, and their children are just as accomplished, and they're doing great things. And so he said he thought he had didn't want to come back, but he fell in love with Louisville again, and I'm so glad that they did. And I know, Cheryl, thank you for putting the nudge in for you all to come back, because they are a jewel here to enhance our community.
Andre, thanks for all that you do. We'll take a quick break and back with more.
Hi. It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works here.
Or smile.
Well done, this looks great.
Time to share a story.
I have a great way to start our discussion.
With old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver.
Time to breathe in.
Inhale up, good job.
Then let it all out. Rah! It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/near-you.
COVID-19 is responsible for over 700,000 deaths in the U.S., and that number continues to rise.
9,000 of those deaths were in Kentucky, but we can make a difference by taking the shot.
If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for someone you love.
We will never be able to get back to normal until we all do our part, so let's all get vaccinated.
So wear your mask, wash your hands, roll up your sleeves, and take the shot.
So please, take the shot.
I said at the top of the show we were going to talk to Tia today from Magic 101, and she's new. She's not new to Magic 101, but she's new to our family at Urban Lifestyle. So Tia, tell us what's going on.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? It's your homegirl, Tia Marie, coming to you from the Magic 101.3 studios, your favorite station for throwbacks and R&B. Make sure you are vibing with us every day. We kick off the day with Steve Harvey, who brings you all the inspiration and laughs one could need. My girl KJ has got you in the midday, and she's definitely pulling up on you for the Co-worker Connect every Friday, so make sure you link up with that. We got my guy Hurling in the afternoons, who's always snitching on somebody, baby. So make sure you ain't on that list. And of course, drum roll please, you got your homegirl Tia Marie coming through strong for the Quiet Storm, 7 p.m. to midnight. And not only do we have those hits that you love, friend, but we also got those tickets that you love. Let us hook you up with tickets to go see Maxwell, Anthony Hamilton, and Joe, because guess what? We got them. And you know what else we got? We got tickets to see Cat Williams when he comes through, and Mike Epps. We've been giving away Lucky Day tickets. Man, we got all the goodies around here, okay? So make sure you keep it locked with us. Not only do we have the goodies, though, friend, but we're also like hyper conscious about your health. So we partnered up with Norton Healthcare for Get Healthy 502, and you want to check that out by heading to our website, 1013online.com. We're focused on high blood pressure this month, friends. So go get your information, okay, because we need you healthy, okay? We're also focused on making sure that our neighborhoods are healthy and safe with a video doorbell giveaway we're doing right now. So listen, if that is things that you're interested in, which I know you are, you want to be safe and healthy and kicking it a little bit with your music that you love. So make sure you tune in right here to your favorite station, Magic 101.3. Oh, and we're definitely on social media too, so make sure you find us there. We're on Instagram at 1013 Magic and Facebook at Online Magic 1013. Find your girl Tia Marie at Tia Marie Presents on both platforms. Peace, love, and light.
Thanks, Tia, for that great information. And you know what? I'm going to be looking forward to receiving more from you.
We'll take a quick break and back with more.
Camille Fort. I'm a legal administrative assistant here at the water company, and I've been here for 5 years. Well, I chose a career here by chance. I actually started as a temporary worker, but the reason that I stayed became pretty clear quickly. I was offered a lot of opportunities for advancement, and that really made a big impact on me, and I decided to stay and really take advantage of the things that were offered to me. It feels really good to be a part of the makeup of part of the city of Louisville in response, of course, to the pandemic, being able to help customers, being a part of a program called Drops of Kindness, where we were able to help customers with their water bills during this pandemic. You really get to see how water is an essential thing and it touches everyone's lives. And you walk away feeling really good that you were able to help someone. I am excited about the possibility of getting back to the office. I believe everyone is. It's been over a year and a half being away from the office, and I know the executive leadership team here is really working to make sure that everyone has a great time when they come back into the office and really get that camaraderie back. Something I do outside of Louisville Water to relax, I love to work out, I love to exercise, so I'm part of a CrossFit gym, and that's something that I like to do. I love to strength train and weight lift. If someone wanted to work at Louisville Water Company, I would definitely tell them to take advantage of the opportunity. They offer great benefits, competitive pay, and many opportunities for advancement.
It's time to crack an egg.
Easy, any style egg works here.
Or smile.
Well done, this looks great.
Time to share a story.
I have a great way to start our discussion.
With old friends or new ones.
When you're a caregiver.
Time to breathe in.
Inhale up, good job.
Then let it all out. It's never been easier to connect, learn, and have fun.
Cheers.
So let's do it together. Come find us at aarp.org/near-you.
COVID-19 is responsible for over 700,000 deaths in the U.S., and that number continues to rise.
9,000 of those deaths were in Kentucky, but we can make a difference by taking the shot.
If you don't want to do it for yourself, do it for someone you love.
We will never be able to get back to normal until we all do our part, so let's all get vaccinated.
So wear your mask, wash your hands, roll up your sleeves, and take the shot.
So please, take the shot.
You know, at the top of the show, we were talking about how the weather's changing and you can get out on your bikes, and I'm really excited about that. And
yep.
Because last year wasn't a great year for me in terms of riding bikes.
But I still enjoyed it every time we got out, so.
Yeah, I did too. So we've got some great information from you. So we're going to check in with Middle of Town Cycling. We're here at Middle of Town Cycling, which is right off of the Waterson Expressway at Bardstown Road. And we're back here with Nira to talk about some things that are going on, because we know the weather is changing. Everybody is ready to get out and get on bikes. They've had cabin fever. So let's talk about bikes today.
Well, it's beautiful outside right now, and this is a great time to get your bikes ready, or if you don't have a bike, come get it.
So I know there are a lot of different options when you're thinking about bikes. So tell us about some of the options that you're finding that, if you're talking about families, that they're migrating toward.
So the hybrid category is what most families usually kind of tend to, attract themselves towards. Like, this is the kind of bikes that are great for like the parklands or just around the neighborhood. They make them for, the mom, the dad, the kids, and they can all ride at like the same pace. They're all kind of doing things together, activities together, and these are the kind of bikes that I would recommend for a family getting out.
So tell us about the three that you have out here on display. So let's start with this first one.
This one is just a girl's 24-inch bike. It's got like the little step-through feature, which I think is pretty cool. And it has multiple gears, so if you want to tackle some big hills, this will help. Same thing here. This is a women-specific bike over there, made by Live Cycling. It's designed and engineered by women, and women who ride ride bikes. So that's another good option, that if somebody purchased a bike for their kid, this would be a good, excellent choice to pair with that bike.
Okay.
In the same sense, we have the men's bike that's made by Giant, which we are a big Giant dealer. And I think this is a great family bike, couple of bikes to ride come summer.
All right. So when you're talking about, bikes that the family can ride in terms of speed, are they really built for speed, or are they? And I'm looking at the seats; they look a lot more comfortable than maybe the seat that's on my bike.
Absolutely. And again, that's the whole point of a hybrid. It's not quite a full-on mountain bike, and it's not a racing bike either. It's kind of a combination of both of those bikes. And it comes with multiple gears. You can go fast if you'd like, but it's just meant to tackle multiple different terrains and keep you riding together.
All right. So are these, in terms of maintenance, are they easy to maintain?
Absolutely. They're very easy to maintain. We also believe in educating our customers. So if a customer feels like they want us to go over and give them tips and a few, tricks to keep their bike maintained all year round, we would love to have them know how to fix their bikes and take care of their bikes. But we also offer annual maintenance packages on the house for the first year if they buy a new bike from us. So that's an added bonus.
And I'm sure still, if you're riding these bikes, we're talking about they're built for comfort. You still want to have helmets. You want to have the shoes. Are we still clipping in? So what's happening with that?
Not a lot of families usually clip in on bikes like this, although you can. But yes, helmets is very important. Definitely get the helmet. Some people prefer getting some bottle cages so they can put some water bottles in there when they're riding in the summer. It's a good idea to keep lights just in case you ever get caught in the dark, or you need to ride somewhere or come back home when it's getting dark. That's a good option to have. They are usually equipped with pretty loud bells.
Oh, I love the bell.
So that's always a good thing. But invest in a good floor pump, keep those tires pumped, and you should be good to go.
All right. So if someone wants to pick up one of these great bikes, how do they find you?
Middle of town cycling, 2140 Gardner Lane in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, it seems like there's never an end to great bike options that are out there. And I think one thing that I really like about all the new bikes is just, how easy they are to ride. And regardless of what your riding level is, there's a bike that's out there for you.
For me, every bit of new information that I get about bikes, it helps me and it makes my biking more enjoyable and I feel more comfortable with it.
Yeah, and we're encouraging everybody this summer. We're going to put something out on Facebook and we're going to get together on Saturday morning. We're going to meet at the middle of town cycling and we're going to have a bike ride. Sound like a plan?
That's the plan.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's our show.
Oh, and that's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestylez.
Bye-bye.
And take the shot.